The bright, blue sunny skies are partially covered by clouds. The birds sing in harmony, and the calm winds brushes the lands and trees with a calm breeze. The calming atmosphere of feudal Japan is for all to enjoy. But some do not have time to marvel in its beauty. A lone horse trots along a path. Its rider is a man in black samurai armor from the city of Edo. As he traverses through the forest, the wind brushes onto him, but he does not move a single muscle. Nor does he look up at the beautiful, fluttering blossom trees all around him. His mind is focused on one thing and one thing alone. His red eye shifts to the right. He spots something through the trees. He slightly pulls on the reins, bringing his horse to a halt. The horse itself reacts in horror because it senses something. The samurai calms the animal down. He mounts off of it, still holding onto the reins, and walks ahead with the horse. His eyes catches a small, growing tree. He stops near it and ties the reins around one of the branches. As he gently pats the animal, his attention turns to what is ahead of him. A house, big enough for at least 3 or 4 people to live in. He walks forward. Another calm breeze brushes onto the trees and the man as he approaches the front entrance. Getting closer, he notices something very strange. Usually, occupants inside would be speaking or making noise, but there is nothing. He reaches his left hand out and slides open the door. His eyes peeks and darts all over. All of the furniture and decorations remains in their places, but it is unusually clear and quiet. Only the sounds of creaking wood and a slow breeze can be heard. A scent grabs his attention. Sniffing the air, he smells something rotting. The entire air within the house smells rotten. He walks forward, further inside. Right away, as he continues to walk down the quiet hallway, the samurai knows that something is wrong, but he does not know yet. He carefully listens to anything that he can hear. But apart from his own footsteps on the wooden floor, there is nothing. Not a sound or a voice. An unease feeling creeps in, but he does not let it cloud his mind. Suddenly, he stops. He sniffs the air again. The scent that he is following seems to be coming from somewhere, a scent that is very recognizable. He looks to the right and sees a paper door. He spots a single hole near the bottom. He kneels down to one knee and peeks what is inside. He does spot something, and the scent is coming from within the room itself. He stands back up and opens the door. The samurai does not look around, but stares downwards at what he has spotted. A single body of a woman is laying in the middle of the floor. Her skin has shriveled up and turned dark gray, and there is no blood around her. It looks to be that her body's insides have been sucked out, but there is no loose organ anywhere. The samurai closes his eyes and looks away. He takes in a deep breath and clenches his fist out of anger and grief. Whoever did this will pay for his life. But he does not believe that it was someone that killed her. He looks back at the body and spots something above it, a trail of splintered up wood. He follows it with his eyes and spots where it is leading to. A broken open wall reveals the outside. He carefully walks over the corpse to the massive manhole. He continues to follow the trail with his eyes and sees that it is leading into the woods behind the house. He steps through the hole onto the grass and walks to the right. Turning a corner, he sees that his horse is chewing on some of the trees on the small tree. Coming up to it, he places his hand on its head. Suddenly, there is a faint boom. He looks behind him. A massive, blooming blackened smoke rises into the atmosphere. The man's suspicion is confirmed. He unties the reins from the branch and mounts back onto the horse. The animal walks forward to the side of the house and into the back. The samurai turns into the makeshift trail, and right away, he feels that a great danger is up ahead. But the last thing he wants to do is cower. The horse rises to its hind legs, then gallops on the trail. Riding fast through the forest, the samurai looks ahead to spot anything in the distance. A shriveled up body sits in the middle of the trail. The horse jumps over it without stopping. The man looks to the right and spots a patch in the trees. A home sits within the forest, but the structure itself is severely damaged and 4 corpses are scattered all over. The man looks forward at what is ahead. The blue, cloudy skies are giving way to a gray and dark orange overcast. The sun is getting blocked. The leaves on the trees and the grass on the ground are becoming less and less as the warrior continues on. Finally, the trail leads to an open area. The grass all around is dead, buried by volcanic ash. There are no more trees except for in the distance. The smell of smoke fills the air around him. 3 massive craters sits to the left, then another 3 to his right. The man on his horse continues to follow the trail of giant footprints. The natural earth there slowly turns into a ground covered in volcanic ash. The sun becomes blocked by a thickened ash cloud. The samurai looks up and spots the great Mount Fuji. Looking down from the summit, he sees the flak volcano, Hui, erupting. Guiding his eyes further down, he spots something standing near the base of Fuji, a 130-meter kaiju with its edge-plated back facing him. He looks to his left side and spots a tentacle with a bony, spear-like tip at the end, stretching for 1,000 meters or more and seems to be moving on its own. Another similar tentacle lifts, followed by another, then another. The horse frightfully cries at the sight of the kaiju. The samurai calms it down. The beast lifts its pointed, seashell-like head and looks over its shoulder. Its single eyeball looks down at the lone warrior on his horse. It turns its upper body, then moves its hooved feet facing the man. The samurai himself takes a good, hard look at the beast. Its glossy, bioluminescent patches on its chest and upper legs glows bright yellow-white with the center glowing blue. On its knees is a spike on each. Its skin is a mixture of red and orange with its head, shoulders, hooved feet, and arms bone white. As a child growing up, he had heard many stories of the very same beast, a kaiju that lures unknowing humans into its trap and absorbs their life energy within them. For 200 years, the people were warned to stay away from it. Even the mention of its name sends fear. Ryuseicho, the demon of monsters. The Ryuseicho tilts its head to the left at the lone samurai. The man himself mounts off of his horse. He passes it twice, then the animal runs off away from him. The man's eyes has not shifted away from the beast. He reaches to his left side and grips the handle of his katana. He unsheathes it and looks at the blade. Japanese writing is engraved into the blade to destroy the demon that haunts Japan. The samurai holds the blade in a Saigon stance, pointing at the Ryuseicho, challenging it for his own life. The beast tilts its head to the right. The dried-up corpses slide from the blades to the ground. The moaning from it is like a bear or tiger trying to scare the samurai. But he is not intimidated, and his face does not change from the stoic, furious determination. He will not back down from the, in his eyes, the spawn from hell that is consuming the Japanese people. A single tentacle sneakily slides through the trees without the warrior noticing of its presence. It shoots upwards into the air, aims his spearhead at the man, then lunges at him. The samurai quickly turns and deflects it back, causing a shockwave around him. The Ryuseicho was shocked. The tentacle lunges at him again. Suddenly, an energy force pushes the man away, dodging it. He lands on his feet, then immediately lunges forward, swinging his katana. The blade slices through the tentacle's root with ease. The beast screeches in pain, with its bioluminescence turning bright blue as the spearhead falls to the ground. The beast stares at the samurai landing on his feet. Its bioluminescence turns red as it angrily roars. The samurai runs at top speed towards the direction of the Ryuseicho. Another tentacle emerges and lunges at him. Another energy force pushes it, and the man slices the spearhead off, causing the beast to once again shriek in pain. The Ryuseicho can remember, in previous battles, where it fought against other humans. Their tactics, skills, and weapons were all useless, ending with the same result. With each victory and consumption of its enemies, it learned to adapt. But somehow, this single human is able to not only defend himself, but perform attacks that actually have an effect. A realization dawns on it. The samurai is no ordinary human, but an esper that the Japanese feared but respected. Daimajin. The Ryuseicho tries a new strategy. The two remaining tentacles rises above its shoulders. The spearhead splits open. Energy balls appears and builds. Daimajin stops in his tracks and holds the katana up sideways. Supersonic scalpels fires from the tentaclancers and hits the man's sword. He tries to hold his ground, but it is becoming a struggle. A stream of blue, pure energy flies over the samurai and smashes onto the Ryuseicho, creating a tremendous explosion. The beast shrieks. The supersonic scalpel ceases and it stumbles on its feet. The man kneels down to one knee, then looks back at the beast. What could have caused that blast? A mighty roar grabs his as well as the Ryuseicho's attention. It looks ahead, with the samurai looking behind him. Both cannot believe what they are gazing upon. 500 yards away, a massive foot with sharp toenails slams on the ground, followed by another. The Ryuseicho becomes frightened, but Daimajin becomes amazed. He recognizes him. There stands another kaiju, a 115-meter kaiju that the Ryuseicho fears. A kaiju that roams around Japan on a yearly basis, a kaiju that art depicted him as. It is a beast that the man does not fear, but rather feel a sense of relief. A creature that he himself thought he would never encounter like a beast like the Ryuseicho again, but has. His name is known by the people of Japan and by Daimajin, Godzilla the First. Godzilla growls, then roars, challenging the kaiju demon. The beast responds, answering to the challenge. He hunches forward at 45 degrees and runs ahead. Air bubbles appears under Daimajin's feet as he runs forward. The tentacles of the Ryuseicho splits into two each. Membrane forms in between. Jets appears on its lower back. It lifts up and flies towards its foe. As the kaiju collides, spears in the Ryuseicho's arms extends and pierces both into Godzilla's extraordinary thick skin. He shrieks in pain as he is being lifted up into the air. Using the air bubbles, Daimajin launches himself into the air. He reaches its foot as the kaiju flies towards Fuji. Hearing Godzilla's agonizing roar and noticing that energy is transferring through the spears, he runs up the leg at great speed. He spots one of the split tentacles. Using the air bubbles on his feet, he leaps from the leg and swings his katana down. The blade slices through the base of the tentacle with ease. The beast shrieks in absolute pain. Seeing his opportunity, Godzilla grabs onto the spears with his own hands. His bruised straight breaks them off from the kaiju demon. The two turns and descends to the ground. The kaiju crashes with a sickening thud. The samurai leaps away from the two beforehand and lands on his feet on the ground. Behind him is the snowy cap of Fuji's summit. Then he looks to the side. The mouth of the erupting Hui is very near. An idea comes to his mind. As the kaiju rises, Godzilla swings his open left hand, slashing at the Ryuseicho's chest. He swings his right and slashes at it again. It swings his right fist. He ducks his head, turns, and swings his crocodile-like tail, smashing into the beast's chest. It reels backwards. Daimajin realizes that Godzilla has the same idea that he does. He wastes no more time. He swings his katana to the right, flinging the blood off, then dashes forward. He dodges Godzilla's falling foot and continues on. A tentacle lunges at him, but it gets deflected by his katana. The man leaps up and swings the blade to the left above the hooved foot, slicing it clean off. It shrieks in pain, but gets cut off when Godzilla rams into it like a bull or rhino. He stops near the edge of Hui. The Ryuseicho realizes that it is about to fall into the flanked volcano and catches itself from falling any further. Daimajin lands near the beast's chest. Energy builds within the blade of the katana. He aims it down, then stabs it into the gene snatcher. He runs backwards, opening the snatcher further. Bursts of energy from within explodes. He takes the sword out and holds it in the exploding mana. His blade absorbs half, while Godzilla opportunistically absorbs the other half. As he does, his dorsal fins glows bright blue. The Ryuseicho's life force is draining. The samurai jumps off as the beast finally falls into the crater of the erupting Hui. Godzilla stands near the edge and fires a stream of pure blue energy at the falling Ryuseicho, pushing it down further. A great explosion from Hui stops him from firing. A landslide crumbles down. He and the samurai gets away to a safe distance. Further away from Hui, they stop and look back at the falling rocks and boulders, filling up the crater. The eruption of Hui finally falls silent, and the Ryuseicho is imprisoned, never to escape again. Godzilla and Daimajin exchanges a quick glance at each other before looking in two different directions. The samurai, with his back to the kaiju, closes his eyes and sheathes his katana as the lone kaiju himself lifts his head up, victoriously roaring into the morning sky.